Today we are going to go over Google Drawings, and Google Drawings is a very flexible tool that can be used in so many different subjects. So in this video I'm just going to show you very quickly how to use Google Drawings, and then we'll give you lots of different ideas for using it in your own classroom. So to get to Google Drawings, you go into your Drive and you can click New and then go into More and then go down to Google Drawings. I think because it's a little bit hidden, it's not quite as widely used as some of the other Google tools. So when we first get into Google Drawings, we have this blank slate here, and up top you have a few tools that I want to mention before we go into drawing. First of all, if you go into File and then down to Page Setup, you can change the size of this document. So it comes in standard 4:3 size, but you could go in and change it to widescreen 16:9 or 16:10, or you can click custom and make this any shape you want. So if you wanted your students to make posters, for example, you could just change this to 20 by 30, and there you have a poster ready to go. I'm going to undo that for now so we have a smaller document to work with. A few other things up top I want to go over would be Insert. So you can see in Insert, you can go into here and then you have images that you can upload from your computer or search the web, or you can have things from your Drive, all different things. You can even take a picture with your camera right here and just have a picture of yourself or something you're holding up in front of the webcam. You can also insert a text box. You can insert shapes of all kinds, tables, charts, diagrams, word art, and lines. So many different things to put in here. Under Arrange, this is one I want to bring out in case I forget later, because this is important. If you draw a shape or put a text box or bring in an image and it's hiding something else, you can always go in and order things. So this would not be grayed out if you actually had something that you needed to order. You could send things to the back or just move them back one layer, but I just want you to know that's there. And then tools, we have some of the same that we do in Google Docs, so this might look familiar to you as well. Okay, so on to drawing, and maybe I'll show you a certain use and then you can see kind of how this works. The first thing I want to do is change my background. So to change your background, you can right click right there on the canvas and then click background and then choose a color. I will choose maybe this blue color. Then I want to bring in a picture. So I'm going to go to Insert, Image, and I'm going to search from the web. And we're just going to say this is a science class where we need to label a flower. So I'll find myself a nice big flower. Hopefully I can find a good tulip here that's looking like it needs a label. Yep, this one will be perfect. I'll insert that. And then I have this nice big picture that I can go in and label. Now, the first thing I would want to do is take my text box. I click that and then just click on my picture, and I can type in my flower part. It's not very clear. It's hard to see this small black font on that petal, so I'm going to change it to something thicker. I'll maybe make it a white font, and there we go. Now, as a student, I would probably just want to copy and paste this. So copy, paste, and I'll move this down, and I will say, I think this part is called the stigma, I think. I haven't had science class in a really long time. So now it's kind of hard to tell what I'm referring to. So might want to use an arrow. I'm going to go in here to select line and choose an arrow, and then click right there. Now it's pointing in the wrong direction, so I want to move that. Kind of hard to see that arrow, so I'll make it white and I will make it bigger. So you can kind of get an idea now of, lots of good things that you can do. You can have diagrams for kids to label. They could even draw their own diagrams because they could go in and insert shapes, and they could draw. Let me go in here to this line tool. So Scribble is something where they can just freeform something. So they could draw their own diagrams and label their own diagrams, which is great. Now I'm going to go ahead and select everything and delete it and show you one other thing. In our list of ideas that you can use, one of those was magnetic poetry. So I'll just quickly show you what we mean by that. I'm going to go ahead and click text box here, and I'm going to just type in a word that sounds poetic, maybe lovely. Make it smaller so it looks like one of those little pieces of magnetic poetry. Let's make it a better font again. Arial's a little bit boring sometimes. Then we'll fill that with white, maybe give it a little outline. And then we have our first piece of magnetic poetry. So I could copy this again and paste it and then just type in my second word here. And then just fill the sides with words, and kids could drag in the words as they see fit and make themselves a poem. One other thing I wanted to go over was how graphic organizers can be used with Google Drawings. This could be great for so many different classes. So to get to the pre-made graphic organizers, you're going to go over to Insert, and we're going to choose Diagram. And then I'll just show you some of the things you can choose from. You have grids that you can choose from. Lots of different options there. And I'll back up here and look at Hierarchy. Also lots of different things that you can choose from. And just so you know, you can customize these. You can make, like for example, Hierarchy, you could make it have 4 levels or 5 levels. You can alter the colors if you want to. And even if you choose one of these and it's not exactly what you wanted, these are all very editable. So these are just things that have been drawn in here that you can move around if you want to. The connectors are also just lines that you could take out and add to and change if you want. So they're just templates to start with, but you can still bring them in and make them your own. Okay, thank you for joining in to this little tutorial on Google Drawings. I hope you'll enjoy using them in your class. And as always, if you have any questions, please talk to your regional or digital coach.